So hopefully this week you've been adding things little by little to your story that you started on Monday and Tuesday. And you're just trying to add more things. Maybe you've gone back into your notebook and you have actually added details to your story. Or maybe, like me, you're still in the early stages where you're thinking about your character and you're making lists and things like that. So either one of those things is okay as long as you're following along and you are making sure you're paying attention to the point of the lesson. So the point of today's lesson is to develop characters by thinking about different aspects of them. So this is the list that I have. You don't need to print this off. I've put it here as a picture, and these are the things that I want you to think about. You don't have to think about all of them. I'm just going to choose a few. When I think about Anne, what kinds of things do I want to make true about her? So let's see. Collections, favorite clothes. Well, I'm going to start with favorite clothes because she doesn't care much about what she's wearing. She doesn't need to match. She's one of those kinds of people. Because remember how I told you that character was going to be sort of based on me? That's me. Like, she's okay wearing things that don't necessarily look good together because that's not why she put them together. She likes to be comfortable. So that's going to be something about her. She likes funny t-shirts too because remember we said in our list that we were going to make her funny in a smart way where she likes to play wordplay and things like that. So she often wears shirts that say funny things. So maybe at some point I can have a scene in my story where someone comments on her funny shirt. Special places, treasures, worries. Well, right there we know what one of her worries is that she wants to win. She wants to win a race. She's worried that people will think that she's not very good. She's also worried that she'll get injured because that's what athletes worry about, right? She's an athlete. She's worried that she might get injured. Secrets, relatives. We already decided that she's an only child. And I'm going to make her live with both of her parents. And I think I just decided I'm going to have her grandma live there too. Because I was thinking about that, what that would be like for her if she lived with somebody else too. We're going to say that her best friend's name is Michelle. And we'll have to come back to that because right now I can't really think about Michelle. Meals and meal times. I'm going to make her picky because I'm basing her loosely on me and I'm picky. And I'm going to say that she doesn't like vegetables. So you might be asking yourself, Miss F, why is any of this important? I thought that you were trying to write a story about somebody who wins a race. And you're right, I am. But I want to make sure that the people reading my story care about the person who's winning the race. Because if you don't give me enough information, then I don't care if the person wins the race or not. I want the people who read the story to relate to Anne. I want them to think, yeah, I hope Anne wins the race too. Go Anne. Because otherwise, there's really no point in writing the story. It kind of reminds me of those leveled readers, those short reads that we did when we did our one-on-one reading assessments, how you guys would read a little bit out loud and then you'd read maybe a page or two by yourself, and some of you would say that you were ready for me to turn the page, but then there was nothing else after that. I'm trying to avoid that, right? Like, I want a real story. I want a story that will really explain to me who this person is. All right. And I won't do that by making a list about this person in the story. I do that by deciding what kind of a person I want them to be before I write so that I can make sure that as I write, they do things that are totally in character because now I know that she's picky. I won't have her at lunch eating a salad because that would be totally out of character for her. All right. So I might think of a few other things, rituals for waking up and going to sleep. We're going to make her not like me in that we're going to say that she always oversleeps. I hardly ever oversleep. And then we're going to say that she stays up too late, which is also not like me. but I think that will make her interesting. Ways of walking, talking, and gesturing. That means, does she talk with her hands? Does she have an accent? How does she sound? What does she look like? Does she stand with her hands on her hips a lot? You know, if you take today and you start observing the way people talk or the way that they are, you'll see that everybody has their own things that they do. I know by the end of the year, most of you can figure out the things that I do a lot. So just keep an eye on people, and then maybe you'll pick up some of those things that you want to add to your story that makes your person more interesting. Treasures. Ooh, I know, I just got a really good idea. Because she's a runner, and I really love my running watch, I'm gonna give her a running watch, and she will really like this running watch. Okay, so these are the things that I know that I want to include when I write about her. So today what you're going to do is you're going to use this page. Again, you don't have to print it off, but on another piece of paper, I want you to be writing about I want you to write your story. I want you to be working on your story wherever you left off, wherever you are. I left off at the beginning of my story. So now I have enough ideas, I can start writing. And so as I start writing, I want to try to include some of these qualities about Anne. So I will do some writing, you'll do some writing, and then we'll meet back up here again next time.